Gold, you want loads of it, but you don't want to go to the Nether to get it because there's wither skeletons and there's ghast and there's things that want to eat your face. So you want to get pigmen in the overworld. I'm going to help you do that right now, and it's going to get loads of XP for you as well. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance. And one of the commodities that isn't in really high numbers in the overworld is gold. Not every village has got a lovely gold entrance like this one. So they're pretty rare to come across lots of gold. But that means you need a gold farm, and that's where this tutorial is going to come in really handy. Now, this isn't a gold farm where you've got to go into the Nether and somehow punch a hole straight through the ceiling and make a gold farm up there. Oh no, we're going to do a gold farm in the overworld, so you are going to be safe from all the nasties and all the lava that you will find in the Nether. It is pretty efficient too. Shall we crack on with it? Yeah, let's do it now. Now, the things that you're going to need for this build are going to vary depending on what you do with it, and they'll become clear as we make it. But what I used was this. You will need 2 chests, 1 hopper, 3 steps, 4 half slabs. Now, those steps and half slabs can be whatever block you would like. I've used cobble because it's cheap, but you can use wood, or if you really wanted to, you could use quartz or something. It's completely up to you. 2 sticky pistons, 1 repeater, 1 redstone torch, 1 redstone, 1 lever, 53 fence posts and 92 trapdoors, 84 glowstone, but half of these can be torches if you wanted to. So 42 glowstone and 42 torches, 53 buckets of water, 1 flint and steel, about 640 glass blocks. Now, this could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, depends on how high you make your farm. 614 blocks of choice. Now, that can be whatever you like. I use smooth stone, it's up to you. 88 obsidian per gate. Now, I used 8 gates on either side of myself, 16 full gates, so that's 1,408 obsidian. You could go up to double that if you wanted to. Bow and arrows, and a nice fat sword. Let's get on with this. We're going to start this in a really familiar way, and we're going to dig a trench 3 by 1, and in 2 of them we're going to stick a double chest, and in the one at the end we're going to go into crouch and shove a hopper into the back of that chest. So anything that goes onto this hopper will shoot into the chest. And on top of the hopper, and this is actually really important, this is not just for decoration, it has to have a half slab. I'm using cobble simply because it is cheap and easy to get, but it can be any half slab you like. And I'm going to come around on every side with a step like that. And the reason we got a step on this one is so we can open the chest, obviously. The reason we got a step on all the way around is because I'm really OCD and I like everything to match, and that's no other reason other than that. And then on this side, just one side, it can be either side of the chest, but I like to come this side. We're going to build just 1 block there, and we're going to get a piston, and we're going to shove 1 piston on top of it and then another piston on top of that piston. So we've got a dual piston system. And then on the face of those 2 pistons, we need to put an opaque block. I'm just using smooth stone. You could use any opaque block you want, but this is going to be one of the ways in which we can kill the zombie pigmen. Really important to be able to kill them when we want to, because this is not just a gold farm. This is also going to be an XP farm that you can get XP from if you so wish. Now, we're going to create a little redstone circuit that, 1, looks really ugly, but 2, is incredibly efficient. So what is going to happen, we're going to put a block there, we're going to get a repeater going in there, we're going to have another block there, we're going to stick a lever on that one there, and then here, right in this bit there, we're going to stick a redstone torch, and on top of the redstone torch, we're going to stick a block, and on top of that block, we are going to stick a bit of redstone like that. So now you can see that's actually on, and what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the polarity of that by throwing that switch, and that's going to retract those completely. It's on, but that's fine because it's a switch and it will stay on for as long as we want it to. So that is how we're going to kill the zombies if we don't want it as an XP farm. We just want to flick it and get them dead. That's just one of the ways in which we can kill the zombies, and that's why we need the half slab there, because that bottom block there will suffocate the baby zombies and the top block will suffocate the big zombies. So they all come out at once and all the zombies die and their lovely drops go into that chest there. So now we just need to build ourselves up a tower. I like to do this out of glass, The reason I like glass is simply I just got this thing about being able to see the things that I'm killing. I don't believe I just broke that glass block there. So I like to see the things that I'm killing. So we're going to make a nice surround of glass like that, and then we're going to come up and have a second layer there. Now obviously with this bit here, there's little baby zombies could get out. The big zombies can't, but the baby zombies can. So we're going to stick a half slab on the bottom of all of those, and that means we can get in here and kill whatever we want, but nothing can get out. So now you have a choice. You can make this really, really high, and by really, really high I mean 23 or more blocks, and that means that it is completely and totally automatic. It will kill the zombies as a result of full damage. This bit here is completely unnecessary. You can remove it if you wanted to, and they will just die whilst you're stood here AFK, or if you build it in the spawn chunks, it will just keep going forever and ever and ever and build up the stock that you've got in this chest. But if you want this as an XP farm, you want to do it for less distance than that, and actually if you don't care about one hitting them, you could start to build your farm right now. It really depends on how long you want them to die. One, when you flow this switch like that, and other when you hit them with a sword. So make a decision as to how high you want to go. I'm just going to go a few blocks high. So let's just come up just a little bit like that, mostly because it's more blocks to make them drop. So we're going to just make them drop. So grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's going to make them lose about half of their hearts. So when you're hitting them down here, they're going to take about half as much smacking as they would do if they were on the floor. So that is the bottom part finished. So we've now got to start and build the collection system at the top before we actually make the farm. So here we are at the top, and the decision you've got to make now is which direction am I going to be doing my collection in. So I'm going to be doing mine up in that direction that way, and it doesn't matter which way you go. It's completely down to you, as long as none of your upper section is less than 1,000 blocks away from any other nether portals. That's what's going to throw you. So make sure you're 1,000 blocks away in the overworld for any other nether portal. So I'm going to go it off in this direction, which means I need to build up too high on those sides, and then this is going to carry us along 8 long. So this is being 1, then we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm using glass just because I like to see them, no other reason. It's just because I like to see them. So we've got 8 along there, and then we're going to do 8 along here, and the same along here, and we're going to do a second row here. Now we need a second row, otherwise these pigmen can quite resourcefully find their way onto the edge of this channel, and you don't want that. So there we go. So we've got a 2 high channel there, and then we come in 1 up like that, and then this channel also needs to be 8 long, including that as being number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to get another one and go up, and this one being number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we're going to block it off at the end, because that is the end of our system here. And then we're going to do exactly the same and make them 2 high on either side of these walls, just to avoid any escapage. So I'll be back when I've done that. So you can see we've gone 2 high on each channel, so we know exactly how high this channel is when it is 2 high. So now that we've got that, we need to make the entire channel level with the top of this, which means we just need to add more blocks so as there is a complete straight line all the way to the end like this. And again, I'm using glass purely because I've just got a thing about being able to see what's coming along the channel. It just looks nice. It's good to be able to see things. So I've now completed this up all the way like that, and we've got a channel that is of equal length all the way along. Now this is where I'm going to change blocks, and we're going to come out 1 step all the way along the edge of this side, and then also all the way along the edge of this side. Exactly like that. And then we need to build a lip across that end there, and a lip across this end here, like that. So this is basically going to be our collection system, and we need to come out in both directions 8 blocks. So that's 1, that's 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1 more with one on top, and that is going to be the edge. And then exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then one more and one on top like that. And now what we've got to do is we basically need to create a tray. It's basically a tray that is as wide as this is, all the way to the end and up, like that, and it's got complete edging all the way around it. So I'll be back when I've completed that. So you can see that is one side completed, and we just need to do it on the other side. So there we've got one completed tray. It's about the best way I can describe it, as being a tray. And then all along the outer edge, we want to make it one more high. So it's actually got a 2 high wall all the way around the outer edge. This is just going to make it so any pigman zombies that do fall into the tray and are washed up towards the trench in the middle aren't going to find their way to the edge accidentally and are going to clamber out like the pigmen that they are and wander around the outside. That's going to have a fairly negative effect on the mob capping that you don't want to have an effect of. You want as many of these things to be coming out as possible, and everyone that's wandering around on the outside not getting killed is one that you can't claim the gold of. So that's never a good thing. So you've got 2 high trench there, and then come all the way back down to the bottom, and on this square right next to the pistons you want to build yourself a tower that goes all the way to the top of your trench, level with this glass block here, and then build one on either side like that, and then get rid, oops, I clicked the wrong one, get rid of that one there, so you've got like a horseshoe shape, and then build yourself a hole. So there is a hole in the middle there, and build out a platform on either side, and that is going to be your access, because with this farm it's actually worth it if you can come up to the top. It improves the farm. And then on this edge here, right again over where this glass block is, come up to the top of the wall and go 1, 2, and then build a 2 in like that. So 1, 2 and 1, 2, and then that should be directly over the trench. And on the other side do exactly the same, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you've got 2 little lippy bits coming over just like that. Then this is completely optional doing this with glowstone, but I like to do this with glowstone simply because it gives a little more light in the system. Connect the 2 L's up with glowstone all the way across like that, and then here connect these up with your standard block. And again, you could do this with the standard block that you've used for the rest of it. I am, simply because it's easier. I'm not looking to make this look pretty, I'm just looking for this to be a little bit functional. And on the other side do exactly the same thing all the way along until you've got a strip across the top that is 3 wide like that. So that's what you should have in the middle. And then get yourself some ladders. And what we're going to do with the ladders at this end, we're going to create access via ladder to there, and we're also going to do exactly the same, create access via ladder all the way down to the bottom here. So now it's very easy for us to get up to the top of our system, and I'll tell you, it really does make a difference to be able to get to the top. It's going to increase your rate of collection massively if you are actively involved in it. So come up to the top of your channel here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get some fences. These fences are for protection, your protection, because if you fall into this system it could cause you some fairly significant problems. So we're going to put a fence all the way along to the end, and then we're going to just fence the end there so it's completely enclosed all the way there. So you come up, you're in a lovely fenced gangway that you can't fall over, because not even if you try you can't fall over there, but you still have access to the workings of the farm, and that is the thing that we're going to do next. Now come all the way along to this edge, just by your entrance, this square here, and count 13 blocks along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And on this 13th block, put a marker block. And on this one, next to it, put another marker block. Then come on the other side and put 2 marker blocks in exactly the same place on this side as well. 1 and 2. Then, On the furthest marker block, put another one. And on this side, exactly the same. So that's the furthest marker block from your entrance. And then this is the bit where unfortunately you've got no choice but to get a little bit obsidian friendly. So we're going to put obsidian on that blip out there and that one there. So you've got one on either side. Now you are going to use a lot of obsidian. I've already told you how many obsidian blocks you need for this, but you're going to use a lot of obsidian. Now this is pretty much the center. So what you're going to come out, 11 more obsidian blocks in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, like that. And you're going to do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now you should find that you are one block off the edge of this wall, which is exactly right. And then come 11 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Should find there is a one block gap, which there is. And then this side, do exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what you've created there is a 23 long row of obsidian on each side. And then on the end one, you want to be coming up 23. So that's number one. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And you're going to repeat that on all corners, and then you are going to bridge it across the top with a further 23 by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So get that done on both sides. So you should now have two squares, massive squares of obsidian that are 23 tall and 23 across. What you've just made are two of the largest nether portals you can make in the game as of Minecraft 1.12.1. I don't think they're ever going to make them any bigger, but this is as big as it is going to get. So now you can just get rid of these bits here because they're not needed. So let's get rid of those. But what is needed is some trap doors. So let's get some trap doors in, and we're going to put a row of trap doors in along this top edge of the bottom of this piece of obsidian all the way along. So this is going to be 23 trap doors that you need all the way along like that. And then opposite these trap doors, you're going to do the same on your bridge. Another 23 trap doors right the way along. There we go. And then on the other side, you're going to do exactly the same. You want 23 trapdoors all the way along, starting from the first one, right to the end. And repeat the process against your walkway all the way along. Like that. Now we're going to leave them closed for the moment because we may need to get access to this area. In fact, there's no main to get access to this area at all. We will need to get access to this area because what we're now going to do is we are going to make basically some obsidian tunnels. So what I want you to do is come into the bottom corner of this obsidian square here. We're going to count out. So that first one being 1, we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to come across 23, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then this should be 8 more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, 8. Now you can actually come out further than 8. I am only going to come out 8 with this particular farm. You could come out as far as 14, but I'm going to come out 8 because each time you reduce one of these big squares, you are taking loads of obsidian off of the inventory. So we're just going to go 8. And on this side, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all the way across here. And we're going to come out 8 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we join the ends up. Like that. And then we're going to come up 23, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And we're going to connect up these corners as well. And you can see what we're going to do now. We are going to create a cube of obsidian on each side that is 8 wide. So I'll be back when I've done that. So we've got 2 lovely outlines of boxes of obsidian there, but before we do anything else with those, we need to get a little bit jiggy with the water, otherwise it's going to be a lot harder to get to. So let's come into our tray area. I keep calling it a tray. Is it a tray? It's sort of like a tray, isn't it? And then we're going to come down and we need 3 buckets of water. The first bucket of water is going to go there, and that will run all the way to the end but not go over the top. The second bucket of water is going to go there, and that will run all the way there but not run over. And the last bucket of water is going to go there, and that will run all the way along and not run over. And then we're going to use more buckets of water, and we need to put a bucket of water basically along this wall on every block. I want a whole bucket of water, a source block of water, right the way along, so as we have no kind of ripple currents getting in the way of what it is we're doing. You should find you've got it running all the way along, right to the edge, but not going over. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on this side. We want water on every one. If you miss one, it is not a terrible disaster, but what you do want to make sure is that you've got a nice row of water. That means no matter what happens, something that goes anywhere on this water row is going to flow into that channel and ultimately is going to go down into the hole at the end. So if you've got that, you've done it right. Congratulations. Now we can fill up our obsidian, and it doesn't matter what order you do it, whether you do it the top, the sides, the bottom first, whatever you want, but you need to fill up the entire obsidian cube edges except for these ones, not the big 23 by 23 holes, just the small ones. So crack on with that, and I will be back with you when I've finished doing that. This is going to take a little while. That is one side done, and that actually looks really imposing, doesn't it? Imagine if that was up to like 10 or 12 wide rather than just the 8 that I've got it. That would be absolutely amazing. But we've got to do the other side, so let's crack on with that. So both chambers now built. That is a lot of obsidian, and this is really only half size. You could do it twice the size of this to get more yield, but I think this is plenty big enough. That looks pretty good. What we do need to do is we need to block off this end, and the way we're going to do that is with some glass, just because I like, again, to be able to see out of it. So we need to do at least 2 high. I like 3, but you can do it 2 high if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. And just build a row of glass the entire width on the outside of the obsidian, on the outside of your build, all the way along. And this creates a wall, which means that we won't be losing any pigmen over the side that are trying to jump ship and get away. Not that they will try to get away, because they're stupid. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side over here. So we're going to do 2, 3, and then create a complete wall of glass so you can see through it, which will look very pretty and all that. And but we'll stop anything and everything passing through it, and we'll end up with as maximum yield as possible. So let me just get this done. We are almost ready, but there's a couple of, I guess you could say they're optional bits that I'd like to share with you that I'm going to put onto my build. So this is where we're going to come into the platform, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a wall of glass 2 high, and what that's going to do is allow us to have a fast escape route, because we might want to get out of here really quickly to get down to do some serious bashing, because there's loads of pigmen or whatever down at the bottom waiting to get mullered. So we're going to fall down this one, and this is where we're going to land on this block here. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out these 4 blocks, and we're going to fill them with water like that. So that now is a safe drop. So let me just demonstrate that again. So we come out. So you've done all the necessaries that I'm going to show you in a minute, and you want to get down and do what you're going to do. So down you go into the water. That's absolutely brilliant, and you can get straight on with massacring pigmen. So that's one thing that is completely optional. The other thing that is completely optional, although highly recommended, is to put just a little bit of light into this system. These are still spawnable blocks, these ones here, so we want to just light them up a little bit. and it's entirely up to you whether you do this or even how you do it, but I recommend that we put just a little bit of light onto these. Now these are only 1 high, so theoretically these shouldn't be able to spawn anything at all, because they're not wide enough to spawn spiders. Spiders need 3 by 3, but I still do want to make sure we don't get anything spawning on these edges, because they are very definitely spawnable. So we're going to just put some glowstone along here. Have I done that unevenly? Yes, I have. Some glowstone along there we go, just to make it look a little bit lighter. It also means that you'll be able to see it from a distance when you're I don't know, going on your travels. You'll be able to see your gold farm from miles away. So let's get this all done. Go on there, and then 1 there and 1 there. Let's stick that, make that even. And then this is actually quite important in my personal opinion. You need to put some glowstone or some light on top of your platform. Now the reason for this is obsidian will spawn mobs. It is a mob spawning block. It doesn't spawn them any faster, but it will spawn them, so you've got to make sure you've lit up the top of your platform, otherwise you're going to find that you're going to get mobs wandering all over it, and that is going to upset the mob cap. I'm using way too much glowstone, as you can see, but what does it matter? I'm in creative. You can use torches, anything you like that's going to make this entirely lit up, but it just stops any mobs from spawning on the top. And once we've done this, we are pretty much ready to crack right on with getting it functional. So there we go. So we've got all of that there like that. That looks fantastic. We are going to now get our flint and steel. This is the exciting bit, because we are ready to give it some. We are going to come down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up one of these. Whoops, I've knocked it out. We don't want to do that. We're going to open up the trapdoors all the way along. Now you might want to do this last. I'm going to do it now because I can fly out, but you might want to do this last so you can get across to your platform. But get all of these open. If these are not open, you're going to have a few problems in a minute, and you will see what they are. Okay, and then this side again, open up the trapdoors. And then, apart from building a very slight wall, we are ready to light things up. So let's get this here, all the way along, all the trapdoors open. Now the pigmen are going to think these trapdoors are solid blocks, which means that they're just going to walk straight out, which is amazing. Let's get our glass block again, because I do like the glass, being able to see through everything. And then here, we're going to put glass blocks at least 2 high. You might want to go 3 high, why not, just for lulz. And then we're going to come glass blocks on each corner, 3 high. That's going to stop any rogue pigmen wandering off the edge of that. And then come along this side. That one's got 4. Why did I do 4? I don't know. 2, 3. We'll do 4 on all of them, shall we? Otherwise it won't be even. That won't be right, and my OC deal will explode in my face. Right, so we got that. Now, it's time to get rocking. So we're going to come inside the first chamber, and we're going to create 8 portals right next to each other. Now, the really important thing is don't walk through them. That is not something you're trying to achieve. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is where you might want to have your trapdoors still closed. 7 and 8. And then on the other side, we're going to come along and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that is our gold farm sorted. This takes a little while to prime, but we have got each of these, we've got 23 by 23 spawnable blocks. Effectively, the way it counts whether a zombie pigman is going to spawn in is relative to the number of portal blocks that you've got. And we've got 23 by 23 portal blocks by 8 on each side. That's 16 times 23 times 23. That is a lot of blocks, but it does take a little while for things to get going. I've lit up underneath because we don't want any mobs coming along and taking away some capacity from our farm. So that's all lit up. I've not built around this. Under normal circumstances, perhaps you'd make this all nicely built up, but I've not done this. This is for the farm purpose only, and we're going to come on here and we've got to change ourselves from peaceful, which is why there's nothing spawning at the moment, into hard mode. I'm going to put ourselves in hard mode because that gives the maximum number of pig spawns and any kind of mob spawns whatsoever coming through at the same time. If you go to normal, maybe you'll be playing on normal mode, you're going to get 2/3 of this rate, and if you're on easy, you're going to get 1/3 of this rate. What we're also going to want to do is put ourselves into game mode 0. Game mode 0, look, we've already got some pigmen coming through. Game mode 0 is going to give us a different way in which the zombie pigmen are going to interact with us. So we're just going to go game mode 0. So that puts us into survival. We're now in survival, and we've just got to wait a little while. It takes a little bit of time for these zombie pigmen to start to generate. So let's give it just a minute, and then we'll come back and start to show something a little bit more interesting. That has been about a minute, and you can see we've got a few pigmen poking their heads out, but most of the pigmen are still somewhere within the capacity of this big cube on this side or this big cube on this side. So you want to encourage them to come out. You don't want them just hanging around. You want them to come out. And the way we're going to do that is by smacking one of them fairly hard, and that's going to make all of them get really aggressive with us and not very happy. And that's why we've got this fence and this gap. So let's just shoot this fella. And look how quickly they're all coming for us, but they can't get us. They can't get us because we're on the wrong side. And any pigmen that come through after we hit that first pig are not going to be aggro towards us because they would have been Nether side. Whereas those pigs that just run after us were Overworld side. So that's why we've got this fella here isn't too aggro. He came after we shot the arrow. And so if we give it just a little couple more seconds, we can see whether or not we get anything more coming through. It does take a little while to prime. So let's shoot this guy now and see what happens. And now come the pigmen. They were the ones that were just sat inside. They want to kill us. They want to eat our face, but they can't. And that's how simple it is. And if you just let this roll and roll and roll, it takes a little while, but you end up with a really, really high throughput. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to see what happens. These guys really don't like us very much. This slime also really doesn't like us very much. So if we just throw that switch, that's going to kill all of those pigmen. They hate being suffocated, and it's a horrible noise. And then we can reset the system, and that's now ready for the next one. So we can get all of this XP, not very much XP because we really didn't do the killing, but we'll look at how we can get XP next time. If we just come up ladder, get to the top of the ladder, and we're going to come and have a look and see whether or not we've got much going on at the top again. See, we've got a few more pigs. Let's shoot that pig, and now they're all coming for us. They're really not very happy that we've just shot their mate, and through they come. And it is as simple as that. And just to demonstrate the XP farm element of this, I'm just keeping an eye around so I've not got any slimes creeping up on me. We can come in here with a sword and just give these guys a good smack through that gap as many times as we want, and that will kill them very nicely. Thank you. It doesn't take many hits, but remember, if we'd have made it a longer drop, we would have had less hits required. We could have single hit most of these ones. And there we go, just checking for more slimes. And there we go. So we've got all the XP that was sat in there, and we've gone from level 2 to level what? To level what? 15, 16 to level 16. Level 2 to level 16 from about a minute or so's worth of piggies. So that is a really good XP system as well, if you like that side of it. And that, my friends, is probably one of the best gold farms in the overworld that I'm aware of at the moment. Certainly you can make it even better by expanding these compartments even further. But this has a really, really quite good rate of gold production. So any questions on that, down in the comments below. Look, there's more pigs coming down the channel. But if you like this, please do smack that like button. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And let's see if we can't get, what should we say, 586 likes. That's the target for this one. 586 likes. If you're in the first 586, thank you very much. And if you're after that, thank you very much as well. And if you haven't already, make sure you slap that sub button, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.